It's the Late Fun Guys podcast. Remember, you can follow us on your favorite podcast channel, including Spotify and Google Podcasts. We're also available on YouTube. Mark, game 3 is tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific at the Bell Center. We can sit here and debate what happened in game 2, but the overall story is the Habs played a solid game and probably should have won, but they ran into the Vasilevsky wall. He seems to have found another level. He's been playing Price level, if not better, since the start of the Stanley Cup Finals. And it just seems like the Habs are having a tough time putting more than one goal in. So what are we expecting in this must win for the Habs tonight?
Well, I mean, you just nailed it there. They're going to have to start by scoring more than one goal. But really, I was really impressed with the way they played, especially after that shit show of a power play, that 4-on-3. That wasn't really happy about that. You're wondering if Weber should be there. Why wasn't he shooting? What about Gustafsson fanning out some shots? But then they played their best period, maybe of even the playoffs in that second period. It was really awesome to see. So that really showed me that they have a chance that they could play the Tampa's level and even outplay them. It gives me confidence that they can outplay them at home. And I said Habs in 7. I still believe in that. Take care of business at home. And then game 7, you never know what will happen. They learned from game 1 and ramped up. And that's all they need to do. We saw Armia. He was really a key player, limiting the turnovers. They still need to clean that up. And Suzuki, what a stud. 9 shots on net. If he brings that again, having the lineups that Ducharme wants on the ice, I think they'll pay dividends for them to help them get those goals that they need.
Yeah, you mentioned Ducharme. He's back tonight after a long stint out with COVID. That was unfortunate, but I think that gives them all the strength behind the bench. Luke Richardson also got a different view from the forwards, being kind of the interim head coach, the interim head coach, if you want to call it that. I think he's going to bring a lot more of his kind of in-game adjustments, which is what you haven't seen with Luke Richardson. I think he's been a little bit, hesitant to make those quick changes, but I definitely think Ducharme will. And that's good for the Habs because they get last change. And I think as long as they continue to put out the effort that they did in game 2, I mean, there was that heartbreak goal at the end of the second period, 0.3 seconds left. That was a very tough break for the Habs. It's really hard to overcome those type of, events in a game. They still came out with a solid third period. I think they just need another 60 minutes, and I think they figured out this Tampa team. But I expect Tampa to come out with an even better effort because they know that Vasilevsky won this game for them and stole the game. And their top 3 are going to come out with a bigger punch tonight.
So about that costly backbreaking goal with 1 second, 0.3 seconds left. The problem was it was in the neutral zone. The Canes have to really be more aware of the clock. But up until that point, they were doing a great job controlling the neutral zone. So if they're able to carry that through and control that part of the ice, I think that'll be played to their advantage. And then as for, you mentioned Vasilevsky, the way to beat him is you're just going to have to put guys in front of the net, get those rebounds. We saw the Canes had some chances, but they only had 7 high danger chances, even strength high danger chances the whole game. So they're going to have to ramp that up, put guys in front of the net, and we're going to need guys like Perry, Anderson, Gallagher, and Gallagher Toffoli all do some goals. One way, drive the net, get those rebounds, force those rebounds, and that's how you're going to be able to get the 3 goals. And we know the Canadiens' record when they score 3 goals.
Yeah, I think that's a definite key factor tonight is getting more traffic in front of the net. But in our net, I thought Price could have stopped the first one. It was probably you can't really blame him for the rest, but I think he's got to be better. He really needs to step up and play at the level Vasilevsky has been playing at.
I mean, I find that a bit unfair. Those shots from the point. We saw Vegas was very successful with those. If he can't see the puck, how can you stop it? He has good positioning, but if they find holes, that's what it is. At the end of the day, Tampa's just an opportunistic bunch. So Price is going to have to be on his game like he has been, and Montreal's just going to have to limit the turnovers, smart stick play. And it's tough because the top four, they're getting heavy minutes. All it takes is one little mistake. And they've been great so far this series, but they're going to really have to hold it down. And we've been saying the whole playoffs to have guys like Romanov in to take some of the minutes away. But those top four are clearly going to have to carry this team and really play mistake-free hockey the rest of the way, because it's 4 out of 5 at this point.
Yeah, I really like to see some lineup changes. Again, we need a little bit more mobility. If you're going to make a lineup change, tonight's the night to do it. You don't want to do that in an elimination game if they don't come out successful. I really think a guy like Romanov or Kulak, who could help get the puck out of the zone, would be better than a Merrill or Gustafsson. I think you can keep one. It's only 10 to 12 minutes a game. And these big four, remember, we had to do time zone travel. We had a lot heavier schedule down the stretch. Tampa was kind of chilled out in terms of their travel and the distance they need to go. So that makes a difference when you add it up over a playoff series, and you're in the Stanley Cup final. I really think that having someone young and who has got quick legs and energized would be beneficial for that top four and give them a little bit of a chance, a little bit of a breather. So those are the types of changes I'm hoping to see. I think up front, the Armias change was solid. We saw the impact he had, that penalty kill where he pushed Point off and got the puck out of the zone. I mean, you noticed it right there. If you're not an Armia fan, that's the time when you realize how much of an impact he had. He really brought it with the fourth line. They were back on track, even though they were -2 during the game. They still had a lot more chances and created a lot more O time. So I think tonight, like you said, it's just a continuation of game two. Hopefully the puck luck's on their side, and we should see a Habs victory tonight if they continue to bring that level of intensity.
And one change we're not going to see is in the amount of fans in attendance. It still be 3,500. Rather a conservative decision by the government, and Ducharme did comment on that. But really, I don't think that'll make that much of a difference. Those fans in there will be screaming, yelling, cheering for the Bleu, Blanc, Rouge. And really the key being at home is having those lineup changes. So you'll have Suzuki, Toffoli, Caulfield not be matched up against the point line, and Deneau will be matched up against them instead. I think that makes a really big difference. And that's why I'm optimistic on the Habs controlling the home games.
Yeah, I'm optimistic too. And we've seen many times where teams go down 0-2 and they come back to win this. The first two is just a feeler. It doesn't necessarily dictate it. I know it is a must win tonight. The Habs got to come out with a victory to have a chance in this series. And if they do, I think we're going to see the Habs kind of take it and start rolling with getting in the flow like we've seen since Game 5 Toronto. So
yeah,
let's come
no
back.
doubt about it, Samir. The next two games are must win. Game 3, Game 4. I know you'll be thinking we win Game 3. We came back from 3-1 to Toronto. You can't do this against a Tampa team. They have to.
I totally agree. This team has got the pedigree, the resilience. They know what it takes to win and shut the opposing team out on an elimination night. And we know how good Vasilevsky has been on elimination games. So you don't want to have 3 in a row against him. So yes, must win Game 3, Game 4. Let's take home ice advantage, and then it's a best of 3. So from that point, let's come back to you guys on Saturday. We'll be back to preview Game 3. And preview Game 4.
Yeah.
Recap Game 3 and preview Game 4.
And we'll win Game 3, hopefully.
All right. Yeah. So until then, go Habs, go.
Let's go.